So you will notice that I'm in a different location today, and that is because it is a snow day and I figured the roads are pretty much undrivable. I live on quite a quiet street anyway, but there shouldn't be too much outside noise, so I just fancied having a little cozy chat in my living room. I've got the fire on and I'm going to be answering your assumptions about me. This is a video I've seen a lot of other YouTubers do, but I actually think it's a really good idea. It just gives the YouTuber in question an opportunity to talk about themselves a little bit more and open up, share a few things you might not know about me. So that's what I'm going to do today. I asked on Instagram some of your assumptions about me. I'm going to keep them anonymous, but actually they were all lovely. None of them were offensive or anything. Let's get into it. This is the first one I got, which says that I'm hardworking, a little bit worried about life as an entrepreneur, but settled within yourself. And I would say that is completely true. Yes. I think as an entrepreneur, I don't often say that about myself. I just say I'm an illustrator or I'm a freelancer, but I guess I'm an entrepreneur because I have my own business. I think it's very normal to be worried about the future and to always be thinking ahead. Because a lot of things can affect how your business goes. So yeah, I say I'm worried about that, but I am, now I'm in my 30s, nearly 31, I do feel more settled in myself as well. So it kind of balances out. I'm worried about my career sometimes, but I'm settled in myself as a person. So it's quite a nice place to be. Watercolour is my favourite medium. Correct. You don't have a lot of female friends, and then that little monkey emoji with the hands over his face. Yeah, that's true. I don't have many friends, full stop. I don't know if anyone else is the same as me, but I moved away from the place where I made all my friends, which was London. Just got priced out of living in London, so we now live in the north of England where we know no one. We've lived here for a couple of years. We haven't managed to make any friends, Craig and I. And yeah, I don't have any female friends or any friends in general that I can turn to, which I think is why I'm so active online, because it's kind of how I interact with people. And I do just think this is just a stage in my life at the moment, and I'm hopeful that in future I will have friends. You were veggie for a while before going full vegan. That's true. I first wanted to go vegetarian when I was at uni, so I think I was about 21, 22, and kind of got laughed at the time by my boyfriend at the time and his friends, and he made it a big deal, and it really upset me. And so I think I didn't make the commitment to vegetarianism for a while. I knew that I didn't want to eat meat anymore, but I kind of chopped and changed, was on and off eating meat. For a while I switched to just eating free range meat because I was starting to learn about what happens to animals and didn't really feel okay with it. But I think it took a while for me to become brave enough to go fully vegetarian, and it wasn't long after that until I decided to go fully vegan. So I got a lot of this in different ways, so I'm going to address it. I thought that was quite interesting. A lot of people said this about me, that I'm a very sensitive person, and I think that I am, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think in the past it was a bad thing. It made me very stressed about what other people thought about me. I wouldn't say that I'm over that completely, but I'm learning as the years go on how to manage that side of my personality. And I think I am quite sensitive to other people around me, which is why I'm very introverted. I need a lot of time on my own, because when I'm around people I find it quite stressful. I feel that I can pick up on people's moods. I'm always wondering what people are thinking and what's going on underneath the facade. I would say I'm very sensitive to my environment and people, but in terms of having a thin skin and letting things offend me, I would say that I'm not particularly sensitive, because I'm on the internet and I'm putting myself out there on the internet, and I think you have to learn to grow a thicker skin. So I've done that. People say questionable stuff to me all the time on the internet and it doesn't offend me or affect me. I am curious about what it says about them. What they choose to say to me kind of says more about them than it does about me. I got a lot of this as well, that I'm a very chilled out person and that I never raise my voice or get angry about anything. Things I like to do in my downtime are very relaxing and chilled out. I'm not someone who likes to go out somewhere really loud. I used to do that. I used to go out clubbing, but now I don't. I prefer to be somewhere quiet. But I do have an anxious side to me, so I'm always battling against that. So I don't think you can have anxious tendencies and be a chill person. And in terms of raising my voice, I hate being loud in public. Like when you have to call the waiter over or something in a restaurant, I can't do it. I hate raising my voice in public. But when I'm at home, I would say that I have my crazy moments, and if me and Craig are having a discussion, a heated discussion, I will raise my voice. I drink lots of tea/hot drinks. Yes, I do. Okay, this one was the only assumption that I got that kind of got to me a little bit. I don't think they meant it to be offensive or anything like that. I think it just got to me because it's something that I'm actively trying to work on at the moment. They said that I have a strong aversion to going outside of my comfort zone. I really want to say that that's false. There are a couple of things coming up in my life that are way out of my comfort zone, and I feel like in the past year or two, when I've had opportunities crop up that the anxious and fearful side of me wants to turn down, I have overpowered that, and I've always said yes, even though they are outside of my comfort zone. For example, a couple of years ago, I did a panel talk at HighFest with Fran Nerd, and maybe that was the start of me trying to get out of my comfort zone, because that was way outside of my comfort zone. It was a really packed out room, and we were just talking about having a YouTube channel as an illustrator. So I was in front of people doing a bit of public speaking. I've been to a few illustration fairs. I went to London and I interviewed someone. And towards the end of last year, there's videos about this, but I was at the YouTube space and I had a day of meeting new people and talking about intellectual property. And also, coming up in the next couple of weeks, I will be at VidCon London doing a panel discussion about Patreon. So yeah, I hope I'm proving that I can step out of my comfort zone. You don't like talking on the phone, especially to people you don't know very well. I would say that's true. With my job, occasionally I have to have conference calls, and I hate that, and I find it really nerve-wracking. So yeah, I would say that's definitely true. And I actually have a phone call later today, a Skype call that I'm quite nervous about. So, you make a lot of money. I don't know. I think that's really relative to what you think a lot of money is. I'd say sometimes I do. Sometimes I will earn a lot with just one commission. Like, I'll earn as much money in 2 weeks as Craig will earn in about 5 months or something like that. I think that was one of my bigger commissions of last year that happened. So yeah, there is the opportunity to earn a lot of money with illustration, but I would say that it's definitely feast and famine. Is that the right expression? Where some months I earn a lot and some months I earn very little. So it's always peaks and troughs between how much money I'm earning, and it just means that I have to be really cautious with my money. When I have a big commission where I earn a lot of money, I save that money. I don't spend it because I don't know what's coming up in the coming months. You sometimes feel it would be easier if you were extroverted. Yes, I think that's true. I think most introverts would say that, because I do think that the world, especially the world of business and entrepreneurship, is tailored more towards extroverts and their skill sets are celebrated. I think it's harder for introverts to find a place in that. That my parents encouraged me when I was young to follow my talent/passion for art. That's definitely true, and I think I'm really lucky there. I had a couple of friends in school that wanted to pursue artistic subjects, but their parents were really concerned about it and worried about how they would make a living from that. And so they steered her away from that path. I think she actually works in the job that she wanted to anyway, so she's managed to find her way back. But yeah, I just feel really lucky that my parents were like, yes, you can study art at A-level and graphic design. And they said yes, I could go to art college and then on to university to study illustration. They've always had a lot of faith in me, which is so nice, and I think it's really helped me to get where I am today. I'm a middle child, and I think I also got one that said I'm an only child, and both of those are incorrect. I am the eldest. I have a younger sister. I'm tired of doing the same watercolour illustrations and maybe want to branch out a bit more. I would say that's not true. I am really proud of the style of illustration that I've managed to hone in on. Obviously it will evolve and my skills will improve, hopefully. And there are different things that I want to do with my watercolours. I'd like to design more products, and I'm quite interested in collage as well. So yeah, I think my style will probably evolve over time, but watercolour is definitely my medium, and I think I do have a very distinctive way of working with watercolour that I probably will hold on to, because it's been my style for the past 10 or so years, so, and I'm not bored of it yet, so I probably will continue. I got a few of these as well, which is a nice thing to hear about yourself. They said that I am an incredibly hard worker. I think so. Work is really important to me, and I do push myself to work as hard as I can. I think over the past few years I've worked hard to build different areas of my business, like my YouTube channel and my Patreon, and yeah, I'd like to continue working hard on those areas and branching out and building my business out from just being a freelance illustrator to something a bit more. I love makeup. I don't think I do, actually. I have some makeup, obviously I'm wearing makeup today, and I do see the benefits of it. It does make my face look much more alive than when I don't wear any makeup. Especially as I get older, it's nice to be able to like freshen up my face. But I don't think I love it because it's annoying to put on, it's annoying to take off, it's expensive to buy, so yeah, I don't love it, but I do think it's a nice thing to have. I have too many breakdowns. I don't think I have too many. I think I'm someone who thinks really deeply and is, yeah, as we've talked about, quite sensitive to the world around me. So I am quite in tune with my emotions, and I do spend a lot of time listening to myself and figuring out what I really want to do and what I want to pursue and how I can work on myself. I think that does mean that I have a lot of highs and a lot of lows, but for me it's just normal. I know that I always manage to get back up again. Sometimes I just need a few days of being kinder to myself and understanding that maybe I'm tired or I'm feeling a bit insecure or something like that. I think I'm doing okay on the breakdown front. I think it's just a normal part of being a freelancer. You're on your own a lot, so you rely on yourself, and sometimes you just need to give yourself a little bit of a break. I'm actually a big nerd. Brackets, TV shows and video games. I'm actually not. I'm married to a nerd though. He loves video games and all the sci-fi films and that kind of thing. I think I'm more of like a sissy kind of person. My guilty pleasure TV shows are things like Call the Midwife and Gilmore Girls, and just really quaint, overly emotional and sissy programs like that. So I wouldn't say I'm a nerd. I'm definitely a big geek though, and I'm a really awkward person that's not very cool. So I guess that could also make me a nerd. A lot of people are saying that I'm kind and empathetic and I have a big heart, and I'm passionate about what I believe in, which is really nice. I think that's true. I feel a lot of empathy for people and animals around the world that are suffering. That's why I'm vegan, is why I donate to certain charities. Yeah, I think that's a good way to be really in this current state of the world. And I hope that I continue to be like that, really. I thought you were posh and snotty, but you are so not. Very down to earth, intelligent and beautiful. That's nice. Yeah, I sometimes worry that people think I'm really snooty and posh. I think it's a combination of my accent and the fact that when I'm nervous or uncomfortable, I find it really hard to smile. So I kind of have that bitchy resting face syndrome, and I do worry that people will think that I'm really stuck up when I'm actually a little bit nervous. I spend a lot of money on my hair because it always looks lovely. Thank you. I think that's true actually, because my hair is my biggest expense when it comes to my outer appearance. I don't spend a lot of money on, like, I don't get my nails done, I don't buy a lot of makeup, and I don't have a lot of skincare. I just have like the bare essentials, and I haven't bought new clothes in over a year. I have started to bleach my hair at home every now and again just to save on money. Obviously it is quite a high maintenance hairstyle to have, and going to the hairdressers every 3 or 4 months can get really expensive. So what I do is go to the hairdresser like a couple of times a year, and in between that I will do bleach my own roots, and I buy a pack that costs like £5, and then I put my own toner on as well. So I have to buy like quite good conditioner and shampoo, because when you have bleached hair, it's quite damaged and you need to put a lot of moisture back into it. So yeah, it's a kind of high maintenance hairstyle, but it's the only one that I can see myself having, and I really like how it looks, so it's kind of worth it for me. It's like my signature look is having really bleached hair. I like this one. You used to have a ridiculous amount of toy animals as a kid. I think I did. Salvanians. Those were my toy animals when I was a child. Me and my sister both had a lot of Salvanians and we used to play them a lot. We had a lot of different houses and like a barge that they lived on and a tree house and their own little shop. And we had like a hedgehog family and a squirrel family and just a lot of different animals that we used to play with. I also got this one in various forms. I'm quiet in public, but then in private I'm a bit crazy. And this particular one says that I'm quiet in front of the camera, but I open up a lot with family and friends. I think that's partly true. I think I am quite awkward in front of the camera a lot of the time, and with family I can be more crazy and more myself. But with friends, I'm definitely a bit more reserved because, like I said, I don't see them so much. And I think filming myself, I feel like I have the space and the time to say everything I want to say in the way I want to say it. When I'm with friends, I sometimes feel a bit more flustered and I don't say things the way I want to say them, and I'm a bit more reserved, I think. You would love to spend retirement in a cabin deep in the woods. I think that's partly true. I'm not sure whether it would be in my retirement, because I don't really see myself ever retiring, but sometimes I do fantasize about just taking myself away to some remote part of Scotland and like hiring out a house and not really seeing anyone and just seeing what kind of work I come up with without the internet, without other people. I think it would drive me a bit mad, but I think it would be fun to do that. So maybe not cabin in the woods, but some remote part of Scotland. I very easily fall into deep subjects in conversation. With Craig, I really love to have deep conversations, and I think he struggles with that a bit sometimes because he's not much of a deep talker, but it's nice when we are able to talk about the bigger things in life. And it is one of my main goals in my life. One of my ambitions is to be an old lazy is to be an old lady and to be really wise and to know a lot about, to be really like emotionally wise and know a lot about myself and about the world and just feel really content. I think that's everything I'm going to talk about in this video. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me on my sofa. The fire is going out, so I need to go put another log on. Thanks very much for all of your assumptions. Thank you for being kind. And if you have any more assumptions, please feel free to share them in the comments. Please subscribe if you are new. I make weekly videos about my life as an illustrator, and I will see you again soon. Bye.